You don't know. It's a foreign language. Why are you doing that? I don't understand this stuff. What are you trying to pull on me, you great deceiver? You're trying to look holy and you're not really doing it. Wandering to and fro. Well, we can all see how that helps us. We wander here and we wander there, and I've got this to do and I've got that to do. I'm a little bit too busy to pay attention to you. You'll please excuse me. I don't have time for you. I have time for so many other important things in my life. And as you rise to the top of my list, oh, well, I'll get to that later when I've got more time. Now is the time. Virala, hypocrisy. Well, we all know what it means for us to be a hypocrite to ourselves. And we say that we want to be spiritual, but we also want to go out to dinner. And we say we'd like to meditate, but we'd also like to go to the movie. And we say we'd like to do all the spiritual things, and yet our minds are roaming around, and all of these generals of the armies of the great ego are constantly poking at us with their swords and their spears and their arrows and saying, I've got a million reasons why you shouldn't practice meditation. I can come up with millions of reasons why you shouldn't meditate today. It's not comfortable. It's not fun. You gotta get up early in the morning. You didn't get enough sleep. You need to go to the bathroom. You gotta do it. I can think of millions of reasons why you shouldn't sit still. These are the generals in the armies of the ego that come to attack us when we sit down to try to be still. Corral, disbelief. I'm a doubting Thomas. You got to prove it to me. Prove it to me this stuff works. Show me that it works, and then maybe I'll believe you. Do a miracle. If you're really spiritual, then do a miracle. Why not? The tongue, arrogance, tamram, anxiety, andkam, blindness. I just can't see. I just can't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Why should I give up all the pleasures of my life to sit here and be quiet? What kind of fun is that? Why is it fun? Why should I spend my time listening to this guy rant on and on and on about what I should be giving up? How can I believe what he says is true? Can you prove it to me? Violent temper. Ugra. Sometimes it's just time to explode. And it's righteous explosion. I'm right. You know how that is. I'm right. And Ugra comes with his friend, well, in order, Ugra Veer, the passion. I get so passionate about what I'm doing, and my anger is righteous. I have righteous anger because I have durdha. I have an irresistible temptation. I want it my way. And I'm right. And don't you forget it. And then durmukh, foul mouth. And foul mouth, you wouldn't believe what my tongue can say that's not attached to my brain. Sometimes my tongue will wag and wag and wag, and what it's saying is just going to dig me a deeper hole and get me deeper into trouble, into more trouble, into more trouble. Shumba and nishumba, self-conceit. Didn't you do that well? And nishumba, self-deprecation. Oh, I'll never get it right. I blew it again. I should, if only I hadn't. If only I didn't. If I didn't say that, then I wouldn't be in so much trouble right now. But I did say that. So now I'm in trouble. And when I said it, I thought I was right and self-conceit was in charge. And when I thought about it and saw the reaction, then self-deprecation was in charge. And I couldn't beat myself up enough. All of these thoughts have I in the center, the great ego. I am the thinker, cogito ergo sum. I think, and therefore I am. And the process of our meditation is looking for the space between the thoughts. Not looking for the thoughts, I think, but looking for the space where there's silence. And when we make that space between the thoughts longer and longer and longer, then we become quite thoughtless. And that's actually the goal, is to move beyond thought into this intuitive relationship where only we feel the presence of divinity. You never were able to define love. You just felt it. You never were able to talk about it. You could talk about your beloved, but you couldn't talk about what it felt like to be in love. Or sweet. You couldn't tell me how the sweet tastes. Oh, it's good. It's sweet. It's very sweet. It's so sweet. But you couldn't tell me what does sweet mean. You have to feel it. And that's the space between the thoughts, is where you go into that intuitive cognition. You just feel it. You grok it. You understand it intuitively because it's an experience of your life. And the same way when you say long, long, rang, yang, hung, oh. You can say it's in the Muladhara, and you can say it, well, it represents earth, and you can say it feels like it feels good, but you can't say what it's like to get into the bija, get into the closest audible approximation of what is the feeling. The rishis got closer and closer and closer to giving us a sound from which emanates the feeling, the vibration. The sound approximates the vibration, and the closer attention we pay to that approximation, the closer we get to feeling the vibration, and pretty soon we get the intuitive understanding of the meanings of the bijas. And we put them in our body, And we put them in our mind, we put them in our soul, and they become the essence of our being. And we put them all through the body. Kangdamon, kangdamon, gangdamon, 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 changdamon, changdamon, jangdamon, jangdamon, gangdamon, changdamon, changdamon, jangdamon, 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 tangdamon, tangdamon, dangdamon, 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 pangdamon, pangdamon, bangdamon, bangdamon, yangdamon, rangdamon, langdamon, sangdamon, Shandamon, Sangdamon, Hangdamon, Langdamon, Shandamon. And then you wear them. That's what the puja is. Putting the vibrations into your being and putting them outside where you can see and relate to them. That's how we were chanting the Chandi the last few days with the Bijas. Om Ging Ring Namaha. Om Ging Kling Namaha. Om Ging Shring Namaha. Always with wisdom, with angers. And I get to intuit the wisdom of Shreem. Sha means Shanti. Ra means your mind. E means your heart. And Swar means perfection. Shreem is Lakshmi's Bij. And Shreem means the fullest attention with your peace in your mind and your heart in perfection. The perfection of peace in your mind and your heart is Shreem. And Shri means respect. And Shri is the name of Lakshmi. And that's the goal, is to show respect by paying attention with your mind and your heart in full, complete agreement. I am paying attention to this space between the thoughts. Or I'm paying attention to the person or people I love the most. And these are some of the generals: self-conceit and self-deprecation. Let's go to the next, in the third adhyaya, in the third charitra, in the third episode, we meet passion and anger, Chandamunda. And we'll meet them a lot. Because we're passionate about stuff, we get angry when it doesn't happen the way we want it. And that's just a supposition that my desire is the correct one. And your desire can be relegated to a lower position because my desire is superior. Passion and anger, they work together. Sugriv, who appears to be a friend, he's also part of hypocrisy. I appear to be a friend, and then I send you emails that come from God knows where, and all kinds of things that just don't appear to be in friendship are manifested through my behavior, even though I'm professing friendship. Dhumralochan, sinful eyes or smoky eyes, and obscure perception. Everywhere I look, I see selfishness. There's something that inspires selfishness within me. Dhumralochan, those selfish considerations, like when you go through the stores in the mall, and every item on every shelf says, I should go home with you. Wouldn't you be more perfect if I was in your house? That's called merchandising. And every item on every shelf is placed strategically to awaken your senses, stimulate you so that you will feel this pride of ownership, this sense of perfection. I'm becoming a more perfect me because of buying you and bringing you home with me. So I'm bringing home a bunch of stuff that don't make me really perfect. They give me the appearance of perfection or the appearance of having a lot of stuff. The plunderers of peace. All of these guys are part of that team, all in the armies of the plunderers of peace. Because every time I go out there and I'm out in the world is attacking me with so many vibrations and I'm losing my peace. Unless I stay inside, if I go out there, I might say, wow, I want to bring this home. Oh, I want to bring that home. And I lose my peace and I don't have enough money. And then I need a job and then I need an education. I need this. There's no end to the amount of needs that I have because of the attacks of the plunderers of peace. Kamgunam, without restraint. Now, sometimes we see that Ram and Krishna are attacked by Kamgunam. It's very easy to see that they break the bounds or test the boundaries of restraint every moment of every day. And we who have become conditioned to be a little more respectful, we don't see our own lack of restraint. We can see it in the kids very easy, but sometimes we don't have restraint either. So we'll want to restrain ourselves. For example, if I want to sit still in an asana, I can't be moving here and there. And if I sit like this, I can never get in the asana. My leg is blocked. I can't go any lower. Then my knees stick up in the air. And I can even flap my knees and fly away. But how can I meditate like a yogi if I can't sit like a yogi? At the least, open up my knees, so open up my legs so there's no blockage and gravity itself will bring my knees down. So then when I get like that, see, even with you without a block, you've trained your body to keep your knees up in the air. Shivam doesn't have that problem. Your knee is always on the ground. No place for you to wander to and fro. You are the perfect still sitter. Namaste. When you get the knees on the ground, then you take up the other foot and just put it up on top. And then after a little practice, it goes right into this little envelope here, and the toes come down. And these toes come up. And then you put both knees on the ground, and sadhus wear skirts. So without restraint, now we're going to learn a little bit of restraint. How do we sit still and restrain our body? Pranayam means to restrain your breath. Control, yam, to control. Prana, the breath. There are so many ways without restraint is attacking us. And we want to bring Kambunam under the dominion of the Divine Mother. He's part of the army that's going to, he's the enemy who's going to surrender and be part of the Divine Mother's entourage. Rock the Bij, the seed of desire. The seed of desire. He won a boon that whenever a seed of desire touches the ground, a new desire will be born in the same place that the old desire touched ground. So he went to battle with the mothers. and the mothers wounded him and the blood started to fall. And every time a drop of blood fell on the ground, a new seed of desire took birth. And pretty soon, the whole world, the whole universe was full of seeds of desire. And everywhere we looked, we wanted something. And it was hard to look at somebody or something or any situation without thinking, what's in it for me? We were all thinking, me, I. And we weren't thinking about her. And finally, we called Kali, who stuck out her tongue, and she drank up all the seeds of desire. Because only Kali's mouth is big enough to hold all the seeds of desire. So that was the way we got rid of the seeds of desire, gave them all to Kali. Viprachit, agitated awareness, you know, when you've got that anxiety, and I think we better think this one through, because I'm anxious about something and I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure of the solution either, but I feel this anxiety, mahabhadam, perplexity. He's the enemy of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. We make everything perplex. Everything becomes a complex web of intrigue. There's a conspiracy around every corner. It's just perplex. It's perplexing. It's so complex that it's perplexing. These are the generals that we confront in every chapter of the Chandi. And as we read the Chandi, we are attacked by these generals in the armies of the great ego. And the ego sends the generals and says, if they're thinking about their lack of restraint, or they're thinking about their own desires, or they're thinking about their agitated awareness, or they're getting angry over what they want, then they're certainly not surrendering to the Divine Mother. So the only way to surrender to the Divine Mother is to give all of these generals to her and let her destroy them. And she will, until they come back again. And it's a constant battle, requiring constant vigilance. So we start every day by chanting the Chandi or chanting the puja, and for every victory we put down a flower. And at the end of the puja, we say, gee, I don't have any of these negativities with me anymore, because I can see they're all here at the feet of the Divine Mother. Now I'm free. So pu means punya, the highest merit. Ja means jata, to give birth. Puja are the actions that give birth to the highest merit, which is the privilege of sitting in the presence of God. And as we chant the mantras and put down the flowers, and we celebrate the victories, and we give up all the negativities, and we give up all the duality, and we invite the Divine Mother to sit here, then we, over time, not immediately, but over time, we change ourselves into a whole new set of values, with new desires. And I'd rather sit a little longer rather than go to the store. Because if I go to the store, I'm going to buy a bunch of junk I don't want to deal with anyway. And there's going to come a time when I'm going to run away from home because there's so much stuff in my house, I don't have room in my closet. So I'd rather go to Costa Rica than stay in my house. Because in Costa Rica, I have one suitcase. What a joy. Thank you. Om San Saraswati Namaha. Do you have any questions about the generals that are attacking us as we chant the Chandi or do the puja? Because I'm sure you can all see how they come up in our lives. So sneaky they are. So they have, yes, please.
So, question number one, how do we know we are making progress?
Oh, when you make progress, you're spending more time in the place between two thoughts than you are thinking about the thought. So you feel it intuitively. It's not something that you can measure objectively. There's no word for it. You just feel yourself different. You've got different goals, different values, different aspirations, a whole new way of looking at life. What's really important to you now, today? So in that way, I would suggest that that's how you know you're making progress. And if you see that space between two thoughts, even for a moment, you feel it. You say, wow, I got a glimpse. What is it like? And the rishis described what it's like. They said it's neti neti. It's not this and it's not that. So there is no word by which you can describe it. So don't try to grab onto it and hold onto it. Just love it, enjoy it, and feel yourself privileged for the opportunity. Yeah, sure.
So there's a question from the web.
Yeah.
So this is Pallavi asking, how can we connect our devotions towards God in our everyday life? What is the best practice?
Well, the first thing that we want to do is to train ourselves to remember God, at least at special times. If you can't remember God all the time, then at least remember some of the time. So let's start with a regular discipline. This is the time that I remember God. And let that time grow and grow and grow. So by starting small, be content with small steps and incremental improvements. And if you can remember God some of the time, you can make that sometime a little longer and a little longer and a little longer. And then some desire will come to you. You'll say, hey, wait a minute, I met that guy in the Chandi. That's not really my desire. That's a bunch of bunk. I don't need that, really. I may, it's not going to change my life too much. Falling in love will change my life. How do I do that? If I could fall in love with a stone, then I could fall in love with anybody. So practice Shiva Puja. Yes?
Another question from the web. Tulsi Ram is asking, Namaste Pujya Swami. A question that arises is, how do we know what is in charge within, the ego or divinity?
The ego or divinity. Tulsi Baba, there are two choices in every action. I am working for thee, or I'm working for me. And if I'm working for me, it's all ego. And if I'm working for thee, then I'm surrendering my action. This is the way I'm demonstrating the sincerity of my love for you because of what I'm doing. There's some times that we can't do the complete puja because we've got other things, other ways to demonstrate our love. But I'm remembering that I'm working for you. I'm doing this because I love you. And I love you when I put the flowers down and sing your mantras, and I love you when I type your translations, or when I do, I chop wood and I carry water, I cook the food and clean the dishes. I love you no less. So Tulsi Baba, you just try to remember that everything you're doing for her, if you are. And if you're not, then think about why you're doing it. Is it really important in your life? Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for listening to my gossip. Since Ma didn't have tonight to sing nice songs, it was nice to talk about what are we doing when we chant the chant? Who are we confronting? Why are we doing this? What's the goal? What's the objective of doing these kinds of coaching? And I think we want to create a harmony between my mind and my soul and my being. Body, mind, and soul will come into harmony. The gross body, the subtle body, the causal body will be all in harmony. And that's what I'm seeking through whatever I'm trying to do. And I do a lot of stuff too that other people will look at and say, I don't know if that's spiritual or not. I'm not really asking for anybody's critique. I fulfill my responsibilities with the greatest of integrity. And I do it because I'm responsible and I want to be a good citizen. The first rule of being a sadhu is never to allow yourself to be a burden to anyone else. You spiritual must mean you give more than you take. So I want to be a sadhu. I want to be a gift. And if for some reason you don't appreciate the way I'm giving, I'll try to find a different way to give so that it's meaningful to everyone. But I feel good about my contribution. I feel good that shreemaa's resting and I get to come to temple to talk about it. Namaste.
Swamiji, you want to say pranam or namaste to everyone here?
Oh, sure. Let's say pranam to everybody.
You're visible on the screen, not me.
Namaste, everybody. Pranam.
And we have,
Thank you for coming to Costa Rica with us. It was the best I could do. I couldn't afford a plane ticket for you all. And I know you all couldn't give up all of your obligations and responsibilities to get on the plane. Only a couple of us Dharma bums can get on the plane. And you know, those of us who are retired or have nothing else to do. Yay! Thank you all.
you can unmute yourself, please.
Namaste. Namaste, Tulsi Baba. Namaste. Pranam. Namaste, Sneh. Sab theek ho raha?
I think you're on mute.
Koi baat nahi. हाँ, सबका आशीर्वाद ग्रहण कीजिए. Please take all our love and our blessings. Namaste.
Thank you all. We'll sign off here.